You know that feeling when you're sitting in your own home, the one you worked 20 years to afford, and suddenly it doesn't feel safe anymore? That's where I am right now. 47 years old, successful by most measures, and I can't stop my hands from shaking as I hold this stack of papers. My name is Megan Torres, and for the past 3 years, I've been paying my younger sister's mortgage. $1,500 a month. 36 months. That's $54,000. But that's not even the worst part. The worst part is what I found out she was really doing with that money, and who else was involved. Let me take you back. Not to last week when everything exploded, but to where this really started. Because the truth is, this story began 30 years ago, in a small house in Sacramento, when my parents brought home my baby sister, Jennifer. I was 17. Jennifer was perfect. At least that's what everyone said. Perfect little nose, perfect little fingers. And from that moment on, I became invisible. I don't say that for pity. It's just fact. I was the serious one, the responsible one, the one who got straight A's, because no one noticed when I got A-minuses. Jennifer was the one who got ice cream for bringing home a C, because she tried so hard.
There was this moment when I was 19. I'd just gotten accepted to UC Davis with a partial scholarship. I was so proud. I ran into the kitchen to tell my parents, waving the acceptance letter. My mother looked up from where she was helping 8-year-old Jennifer with her homework and said, "That's wonderful, honey. Did you figure out how you're paying for the rest?" No congratulations, no celebration, just the immediate pivot to the practical problem I'd have to solve myself. Meanwhile, when Jennifer got accepted to community college years later, my parents threw her a party, invited the whole family, bought her a new laptop, and paid for her entire first year. She dropped out after 1 semester. I put myself through college, business degree from UC Davis, worked 2 jobs while taking a full course load. I remember eating ramen for dinner 6 nights a week and walking 40 minutes to campus to save on gas money. I graduated with honors and $15,000 in student loans that I paid off in 3 years. Jennifer, after she dropped out, she moved back home, lived rent-free until she was 28. During that time, I was climbing the corporate ladder, working 60-hour weeks, living in a studio apartment in San Francisco that cost more than it should have. Fast forward to today, I'm the CFO of a mid-sized tech company in San Francisco. Good salary, great benefits. I bought my house, a modest 3-bedroom in Oakland, 5 years ago, paid in cash after saving for a decade. Jennifer, she's 44, married to Kyle, a man who's had 17 different business ventures in the 20 years they've been together. Not one of them successful. They have 3 kids, Sophia, 14, Mason, 11, and little Emma, 7. Beautiful kids. I love them desperately. And for years, I watched Jennifer struggle, really struggle. Not can't afford a vacation struggle, can't afford groceries struggle. And it broke my heart. It was Thanksgiving, 3 years ago. The whole family was at my parents' house in Sacramento. Mom had outdone herself. Turkey, stuffing, 3 different pies. Jennifer arrived late, as usual, with Kyle and the kids. I noticed Jennifer looked stressed, more than usual. Her smile was tight, and she kept checking her phone. Every few minutes, she'd glance at it, then look away quickly, her jaw clenching. But when I asked if everything was okay, she just waved me off. "Fine, Meg. Everything's fine. Just, holiday chaos." After dinner, I found her in the kitchen, staring at her phone with tears streaming down her face. She didn't even notice me come in at first. "Jen? What's wrong?"
She jumped, quickly wiping her face. "It's nothing. I'm just being stupid. Come on, talk to me." She broke down completely. "We're going to lose the house, Megan. The bank sent a notice. We're 3 months behind on the mortgage. Kyle keeps saying his new app is going to take off, but..." She sobbed harder. "I can't let my babies be homeless. I can't." My heart just stopped. I thought about those kids. Little Enna's only 4 then, with her gap-toothed smile and the way she called me Auntie Meggie. The idea of them being homeless, of my nieces and nephew living in a car or a shelter. How much do you need? What? How much do you need to catch up? Meg, I can't ask you to. You're not asking. I'm offering. How much? She said it so quietly. $4,500. I didn't even hesitate. I wrote her a check that night. $4,500. She cried and hugged me and told me I was saving her family. And you know what? It felt good. It felt like I was finally the one who could help, the one who could fix things. Like maybe all those years of being invisible had been leading to this moment where I could be the hero. A month later, she called me again. They were still struggling. Kyle's latest venture, some cryptocurrency app, had fallen through. He couldn't make the next mortgage payment, or the car payment, or the electric bill.
That's when I made the offer that would change everything. I told Jennifer I'd pay her mortgage every month, $1,500, just until they got back on their feet. Maybe 6 months, a year at most. Kyle was interviewing for a management position at a tech startup. Jennifer was looking into going back to school to become a dental hygienist. Things were going to turn around. She cried. She told me I was an angel. She promised they'd pay me back as soon as things turned around. She even said she'd keep a spreadsheet of every payment so she could calculate the exact amount they owed me. I believed her. Why wouldn't I? She was my sister. But here's the thing I didn't realize then. When you become someone's financial savior, you don't just become a person who helps. You become a person they resent, and eventually, a person they feel entitled to take from. The first comment came about 3 months in. We were at a family barbecue at my place. I just had my back patio redone, nothing fancy, just some new furniture from IKEA and some string lights. It had cost me about $800 total, and I was proud of it. I'd spent weekends assembling everything myself. Jennifer walked out onto the patio, looked around with this expression I couldn't quite read, and said it so casually, but there was something pointed in her tone. Must be nice to be rich, Meg. I laughed it off, thought she was joking. Rich? Jen, I'm just comfortable. There's a difference. Right. Comfortable enough to redo your patio while some of us are barely scraping by. The words hung in the air. I felt my face get hot. Jen, this cost less than 1 mortgage payment, and I saved up for months. She just shrugged. Sure. Must be nice to have money to save. I didn't say what I was thinking, which was, I'm literally paying your mortgage right now. I'm the reason you're not homeless. I just smiled and changed the subject. But that comment stuck with me like a splinter under my skin. 6 months later, it happened again. Mom's birthday dinner. I'd bought her a nice gift, a gold bracelet she'd been eyeing for months at her favorite jewelry store. It was expensive, yes, $600. But it was Mom's 70th birthday. I'd been saving for it specifically. When Mom opened it, her face lit up. She actually cried. Megan, this is too much. Nothing's too much for you, Mom. That's when Jennifer spoke up, loud enough for everyone at the table to hear. Wow, Megan, that's so generous. Must be nice to have money to throw around. The table went quiet. My father stopped mid-bite. My Aunt Martha looked down at her plate. My brother-in-law Kyle suddenly found his wine glass fascinating. My mother tried to intervene. Jennifer, that's not... No, I mean it. It's great, really. Some of us just have to be more careful with money, that's all. Some of us have to choose between birthday presents and keeping the lights on. She said it with this martyred expression, like she was some kind of suffering saint. And I just sat there, fork in hand, thinking about the $1,500 I'd transferred to her account 2 days before. My father jumped in and changed the subject, asking about Mason's soccer season. But the damage was done. Everyone at that table knew I was paying Jennifer's bills. And somehow, in her narrative, I was the villain for having money. It kept happening, every family gathering. Little comments, little digs. At my niece Sophia's 13th birthday party, when I gave her a new tablet for school. Must be nice to afford expensive electronics. At Christmas, when I brought gifts for all 3 kids. Must be nice not to worry about what things cost. When I mentioned I was thinking about taking a weekend trip to Napa, must be nice to go on vacation whenever you want. Each time, I'd bit my tongue. Each time, I kept writing the check, because I kept thinking about those kids, about my nieces and nephew, about Emma's laugh
and Mason's hugs, and Sophia's dreams of becoming a veterinarian. But then, about a year and a half into this arrangement, something weird happened. I called Jennifer on a Tuesday afternoon. Nothing important, just wanted to catch up and see how Sophia's violin recital had gone. She answered breathless. I could hear noise in the background that definitely sounded like an airport terminal. Announcements, the beeping of those passenger carts, that particular echo of a large public space. "Oh, Meg, hey, can I call you back?" "Sure, is everything okay? Where are you?" She got flustered. "What? Oh, just running errands. Target's really crowded today. You know how it is. Gotta go." She hung up abruptly. That was weird. Target doesn't sound like an airport, but I let it go. People get flustered. Maybe I was hearing things. Then, 2 days later, my mom mentioned something in passing during our weekly phone call. "Did Jennifer tell you they went to Cancun?" My hand froze on my coffee mug. "What?" "Last weekend. She posted photos on Facebook. The whole family went. It looked beautiful. I'm so glad they got to take a little break. Lord knows they needed it." I hung up and immediately pulled up Facebook. And there they were. Photos from 3 days ago. Jennifer, Kyle, and the kids on a pristine beach in Mexico. Jennifer in a new swimsuit, designer sunglasses perched on her head. Drinks with umbrellas in adult hands. Sunset dinners at restaurants that definitely weren't cheap. The kids on jet skis. Emma building an elaborate sandcastle with what looked like a professional sand sculpture set. The caption read, "Sometimes you just need to escape. So blessed to make these memories with my babies. Hashtag blessed, hashtag family time, hashtag living our best life." I stared at those photos for 20 minutes, scrolling through all 15 of them. There was one of Jennifer and Kyle at what looked like a couple's massage, another of them parasailing, the kids at some kind of kids club with other tourists' children. This wasn't a cheap weekend getaway. This was a full-blown vacation. Easily $3,000, maybe $4,000. I'd just sent her mortgage payment 3 days before they left, $1,500. And she'd used it for what? Margaritas on the beach while I ate leftovers at my desk during lunch?
But I talked myself down. Maybe Kyle's parents gave them the money. His parents were comfortable, not rich, but they'd helped out before. Maybe it was a gift. Maybe they'd saved up somehow. Maybe Kyle had finally gotten that job he'd been interviewing for, and they'd celebrated before he started. I didn't want to be the sister who begrudged her family a vacation. I didn't want to be petty, so I even commented on the photos. "Looks amazing. So happy for you guys." Jennifer replied with a heart emoji. I said nothing else. I thought the vacation was just a one-time thing, a lucky break, an early inheritance or a work bonus or something. I didn't realize it was just the beginning of discovering how much my sister had actually been lying to me. Over the next year, I started noticing things, little things that didn't quite add up, things that made that splinter of doubt dig deeper. Jennifer got a new iPhone, not just any iPhone, but the Pro Max, the most expensive model. I knew because I'd been looking at phones myself and had decided my 2-year-old model was fine. When I mentioned she had the same phone I'd been considering, she got defensive. "Oh, this? Kyle's mom bought it for my birthday." But her birthday had been 3 months earlier, and I'd been at that birthday dinner. No one had given her a phone. She started wearing designer handbags. First a Coach bag, then a Michael Kors, then what I was pretty sure was a real Louis Vuitton, not a knockoff. "Thrift store finds," she'd say with a little laugh. "You'd be amazed what people donate." But these bags weren't used. They had that new leather smell. The tags were still attached on some of them. Their kids were suddenly in expensive extracurriculars. Sophia started taking private violin lessons, not group lessons at school, but private lessons with a renowned instructor, $150 an hour, twice a week. I knew because Sophia had told me excitedly about her teacher, and I'd looked him up. Mason joined a travel soccer team, not the local recreational league, but one of those elite clubs where parents spend thousands on tournament fees and travel costs. The uniform alone was $300.
Emma got enrolled in a gymnastics academy, the kind with Olympic-level coaches and twice-weekly private sessions. When I asked Jennifer how they were affording all this, she had explanations ready: scholarships, payment plans, Kyle's parents helping out, a bonus from Kyle's new freelance client. Kyle had gotten freelance work, that much was true, but I knew enough about freelance rates to know that one client wasn't funding private music lessons and elite sports teams.
And the vacations kept happening. Vegas for her and Kyle's anniversary in March. She posted photos from inside the Bellagio, cocktails by the fountain, a show at Cirque du Soleil, Disneyland for Mason's birthday in May. Not just a day trip, they stayed at the Grand Californian. I recognized the lobby in one photo. That hotel started at $500 a night. A ski trip to Tahoe for Christmas, lift tickets, equipment rental, ski school for the kids, a cabin that slept 8. Each time I saw the photos on social media, I felt this knot in my stomach tighten. But I still kept paying, because what was the alternative? Let them lose their house? Let those kids suffer? Stop now and have the last 18 months, the last $27,000 be for nothing? I thought about calling her, confronting her, but every time I picked up the phone, I talked myself out of it. She was my sister. She wouldn't lie to me. There had to be an explanation. Then came Easter this year, April 13th, the day everything started to crack open. We were all at my parents' house for the annual Easter egg hunt and dinner. I'd brought a nice bottle of wine, some gourmet chocolates for the adults, and expensive toys for the kids' Easter baskets. I always went overboard for the kids. It was my thing.
Jennifer arrived late, as usual, but this time she was wearing an outfit I'd never seen before. A designer dress, Tory Burch if I wasn't mistaken. New shoes, definitely Stuart Weitzman. I'd been eyeing a similar pair online. A new handbag, new jewelry. She looked like she'd stepped out of a Nordstrom catalog. "Jen, that dress is gorgeous. Is it new?" She got defensive immediately, her shoulders tenting. "Yeah, so?" "No, I just meant it's really pretty. You look great." Her voice turned ice cold. "Must be nice to be rich enough to judge what other people wear, Megan." The room went completely quiet. My mother stopped setting the table. My father's newspaper rustled as he lowered it. My Aunt Martha froze mid-pour with the lemonade pitcher. I kept my voice calm, even though my heart was pounding. "I wasn't judging, Jen. I was complimenting you." She actually sneered at me. I watched her lip curl up, her eyes narrow. "Sure, just like you compliment everything I do. You and your perfect life and your perfect house and your perfect career. Some of us are just trying to survive, Megan. Some of us don't have the luxury of judging other people from our high horse." "Jennifer," my father's voice was sharp.
But she wasn't done. "No, Dad, someone needs to say it. Megan's been lording her success over this family for years, making the rest of us feel like failures because we're not CFOs of tech companies, because we don't have paid-off houses and fat bank accounts." I felt like I'd been slapped. That's not fair, isn't it? Every time we see you, it's another story about your job or your house or your investment portfolio. Meanwhile, Kyle and I are drowning, and you just sit there in your expensive clothes with your expensive wine, judging us. I looked down at what I was wearing. Jeans from Target, a sweater I'd had for 5 years. The wine had cost $18. You know what? I need some air. I walked out before I said something I'd regret. I stood on my parents' back porch, hands shaking, trying not to cry. The afternoon sun was too bright. The sounds of the neighborhood, kids playing, someone mowing their lawn, felt too normal for how I was feeling. My dad came out a few minutes later. I heard the screen door creak. "You okay, kiddo?" "Not really." He sighed heavily, leaning against the porch railing next to me. "It's not just lately, Dad. It's been 3 years of this. 3 years of me helping her, and somehow I'm the bad guy." "I know. Your mother and I, we've noticed. We don't know what to say to her anymore. Every time we try to talk to her, she gets defensive. Maybe I should just stop. Stop paying the mortgage.
Let them figure it out. My father was quiet for a long moment. Maybe you should. But I know you, Megan. You won't. Because you're the one who actually cares about those kids. That's not fair to say. Isn't it? Jennifer cares about them, sure. But she cares more about keeping up appearances, about not looking like she's struggling. I turned to look at him. What do you mean? He seemed to be choosing his words carefully. Your mother and I have been talking. Some things don't add up. The vacations, the new things. We gave her $5,000 last month. My stomach dropped. What? She said the bank was threatening foreclosure, that they needed a good faith payment immediately, or they'd lose the house. She was crying. She brought Emma with her, and Emma was crying too. She said she didn't know where else to turn. And you gave it to her. What were we supposed to do? Let our granddaughter be homeless? He rubbed his face tiredly. But then last week, your mother saw on Facebook that they'd just gotten back from Hawaii. I felt like the ground was shifting under my feet. Hawaii? Posted photos and everything. 4 days on Maui. Luau. Snorkeling. The whole deal.
But you just gave her $5,000. I know. We stood there in silence. A neighbor's dog barked. Somewhere, kids were laughing. Dad, I need to ask you something. How much have you and Mom given her over the years? He was quiet for so long I thought he wasn't going to answer. Maybe 20,000 over the last 10 years. Sometimes a few hundred here and there, sometimes more. She always has a reason, always an emergency. 20,000 from them, 54,000 from me. That was $74,000, and Jennifer was still apparently drowning. Something's not right, I said. No, it's not. That conversation planted a seed, a question I couldn't ignore anymore. What was she really doing with all this money? I told myself I wasn't going to snoop. I wasn't that person. I respected privacy, I trusted family. But the question kept gnawing at me. It kept me up at night. If I was paying her mortgage, and my parents were giving her thousands, and Kyle was supposedly working, how was she affording all these vacations, the designer clothes, the expensive activities for the kids? None of it made sense. So one night, after another family dinner where Jennifer made a comment about my privileged life, I did something I'm not proud of. I looked up her mortgage information online.
It's public record. Anyone can access it through the county assessor's website. I'd done it before when I was house hunting, checking comps in neighborhoods I was interested in. Her house in Sacramento, 3 bedrooms, bought 12 years ago. Monthly mortgage payment, $1,500. Same amount I'd been sending her. I was just going to confirm that the payment amount was right, that I wasn't somehow miscalculating, that maybe I should be sending more. But then I saw something that made my blood run cold. A foreclosure notice. Filed 6 months ago. Not 3 months. 6. I stared at my computer screen, reading it over and over. Foreclosure proceedings initiated. Multiple missed payments. Default judgment pending. I didn't understand. I'd been paying her mortgage every single month. Hadn't missed one payment in 3 years. I had the bank statements to prove it. Every first of the month, like clockwork, I transferred $1,500 to her account with the memo mortgage payment. How was her house in foreclosure if I'd been paying? That's when I realized she wasn't using my money for the mortgage. She was using it for everything else. But I needed to be sure. I needed to know exactly what was happening. So I did something else I'm not proud of. I called the bank.
Not Jennifer's bank, my bank. I spoke to my account manager, a woman named Patricia, who'd helped me set up my mortgage 5 years ago. Patricia, if I'm sending someone money every month and they're supposed to be using it to pay their mortgage, is there any way to verify they're actually paying? Well, not directly. Their mortgage account would be private, but you could look at public records for foreclosure notices, or you could ask them for proof of payment. What if they were lying? Patricia was quiet for a moment. Then you'd see a foreclosure notice and you'd stop sending money. Right, thank you. But I didn't stop sending money. Not yet, because I needed to know more. I needed to understand the full picture before I confronted her. That's when I did something I definitely wasn't proud of. I called my mother. Mom, I need to ask you something, and I need you to be completely honest with me. Of course, honey, what is it? When you gave Jennifer that $5,000 last month, did she show you any paperwork? Any letters from the bank? Any proof that she actually needed it for the mortgage? My mother hesitated. She showed me something on her phone, a text message, I think, from the bank about missed payments. Did you read it carefully? Well, Emma was crying and Jennifer was so upset and no, I guess I didn't.
Mom, I need you to do something for me. Next time you're at Jennifer's house, I need you to look at her mail. Look for bank statements, mortgage statements, credit card bills, anything financial. Mom, I can't spy on your sister. Mom, I've been paying her mortgage for 3 years, and her house is in foreclosure. Something's very wrong. I heard my mother's sharp intake of breath. What? I looked it up, public records. The bank filed foreclosure proceedings 6 months ago. She's been taking my money and using it for something else. Oh my God. So will you look, please? Yes, I'll look. 3 days after that phone call, I got a call from my mother at 7 in the morning. I was just getting ready for work, standing in my closet trying to decide between 2 different blazers. She was crying. Megan, we need to talk. Your father and I went over to Jennifer's yesterday. And she wasn't there, but there was mail piled up on the porch. The mailbox was so full it was overflowing. So we took it to sort through it, to see what bills were overdue. I sat down on my bed. What did you find? The foreclosure notice is dated 10 months ago, Megan. Not 6, not 3, 10 months. She's been in default for over a year. Over a year. That was $18,000. $18,000 I'd sent her, thinking I was saving her family. What else?
Credit card bills. So many credit card bills. American Express, Visa, MasterCard, Discover, all maxed out. Over $40,000 in credit card debt. And these aren't old charges. These are recent. Luxury stores, Nordstrom, Neiman Marcus, travel agencies, hotels, cash advances from ATMs in Las Vegas. $40,000 on top of the $54,000 I'd given her. My mother was crying harder now. And there are receipts, honey. We found receipts stuffed in envelopes. From the vacations. The Cancun trip cost $6,000. The Vegas anniversary was $3,000. There's a receipt from a spa in Napa Valley. $2,000 for a weekend package. Mom, where is she? Where's Jennifer? She took the kids to Hawaii. They left 3 days ago. We didn't know until we saw photos on Facebook this morning. Kyle posted them. They're staying at some resort, the Grand Wailea. I looked it up. It's $800 a night. I felt something break inside me. Not crack, break, like a dam bursting. She's in Hawaii, right now, while her house is in foreclosure, while she owes me $54,000, while she owes credit card companies $40,000, while she took $5,000 from you last month, supposedly to save her house.
She's in Hawaii. I know. How? How did she even afford it? There was a credit card statement, a new one, opened 2 months ago. $20,000 limit. Already $15,000 charged. The Hawaii trip is on there. I couldn't breathe. Is Dad there? Yes. He's very upset. Put him on. There was a rustling sound. Then my father's voice, tight with anger. Megan. Dad. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry we didn't see this sooner. It's not your fault. She lied to all of us. What are you going to do? That was the question, wasn't it? What was I going to do? Cut her off? Call her right now and scream at her? Let her lose the house? Report the fraud? Because this was fraud, wasn't it? Or an idea was forming. A terrible, audacious, probably stupid idea. Dad, I need you and Mom to do something for me. Anything. Keep that mail. All of it. Don't throw anything away. And take pictures. Every single document. Every bill. Every statement. Every receipt. Why? Because I'm going to need evidence. Evidence for what? I'm not sure yet, but I'll figure it out. I hung up and sat there on my bed, still in my pajamas, my blazers forgotten. I called in sick to work. For the first time in 3 years, I called in sick. And then I started planning.
I didn't sleep for the next 3 days or the next night. I just kept thinking about those kids, about Sophia and Mason and Emma, playing on a beach in Hawaii, having no idea that in less than 2 months, they might be homeless, having no idea their mother had been lying to everyone, having no idea their aunt had been funding their lifestyle. And I thought about Jennifer, about the sister I'd loved, the one I'd tried to help, about how she'd looked at me with contempt while spending my money on luxury spa weekends and bottle service in Vegas. But I also thought about something my therapist had told me years ago, back when I was dealing with a difficult situation at work. The best revenge isn't anger, it's strategic action. So I started gathering evidence. I downloaded every bank statement from the last 3 years. I printed out every transfer I'd made to Jennifer. I created a spreadsheet with dates, amounts, and what Jennifer had claimed the money was for, versus what I now suspected it had actually been used for. I called the bank that held Jennifer's mortgage. I explained the situation, that I was the homeowner's sister, that I'd been trying to help with the mortgage, but the money had been misused, that there were 3 children involved. The bank representative, a woman named Carol, was surprisingly understanding.
Ma'am, I can't give you specific account information, but I can tell you that the foreclosure is set for August 15th. That's 6 weeks from now. If the account is brought current, all missed payments plus fees and penalties, we can stop the process. How much would that be? Let me calculate. $22,400. $22,000 on top of the $54,000 I'd already given her. That would be $76,000 total. And if the account isn't brought current, the property will be sold at auction. Any equity after paying off the loan would go to the homeowners, but she hesitated. Between you and me, given how far behind they are and the fees involved, there probably won't be any equity left. So Jennifer and Kyle would lose everything, and the kids would lose their home. If I were to pay that amount to bring the account current, what would I need to do? Are you a co-signer on the loan? No. Then you'd need their permission, or you'd need to be added to the account. Or you could pay it as a third party, but they'd need to agree to accept the payment. What if I paid it directly to you, without their knowledge?
Carol was quiet for a moment. That would be unusual, but technically possible. It would be considered a gift. You'd need to fill out some paperwork, and they'd be notified that the payment was made. But it would stop the foreclosure. Yes. Thank you, Carol. I hung up and added that to my plan. But first, I needed to confront Jennifer. I needed her to admit what she'd done. I needed to hear her say it. So I waited. I waited until she got back from Hawaii. I waited until she posted her final vacation photos, all sun-kissed and happy, with captions about family memories and blessed lives. And then I called a family meeting. I told my parents. I told them I wanted everyone there. Jennifer, Kyle, Mom, Dad, and me. No kids. This wasn't a conversation for children. My mother set it up. She called Jennifer and said it was important, that we needed to discuss some family business. Jennifer tried to resist, but my father got on the phone and used his dad voice, the one that meant this wasn't optional. They agreed to come over the following Sunday, 2 days away. I spent those 2 days preparing. I organized all my evidence into a binder. I rehearsed what I was going to say. I ran through possible responses and how I'd handle them. I also did one more thing. I called a lawyer, a family friend who specialized in contract law.
Melissa, I need to set up a formal loan agreement, something legally binding. Okay, between whom? Between me and my sister. I explained the situation, all of it. The 3 years of payments, the lies, the foreclosure, the credit card debt. My plan. Melissa listened without interrupting. When I finished, she was quiet for a long moment. Megan, that's incredibly generous, given what she's done to you. I'm not doing it for her. I'm doing it for her kids. And for me, because I need to set boundaries. I understand. I'll draft something up. It'll be ready by Friday. Sunday came. I drove to my parents' house at 2 p.m., the binder of evidence on my passenger seat, the loan agreement in my briefcase. Jennifer and Kyle were already there when I arrived. Jennifer's arms were crossed. She had that defensive posture I'd come to recognize, shoulders hunched, jaw tight. If this is an intervention, I'm not interested. I walked past her into the living room. Sit down, Jennifer. I don't have to. My father's voice was sharp. Sit down. She sat. Kyle sat next to her, looking uncomfortable. My parents sat on the love seat. I stayed standing. I opened the binder.
For the past 3 years, I've been sending you $1,500 a month. That's $54,000 total. You told me it was for your mortgage. You told me you were behind on payments and about to lose your house. You cried. You brought Emma with you. You made me believe your children were going to be homeless if I didn't help. Jennifer opened her mouth to speak, but I held up my hand. I'm not done. Mom and Dad have given you approximately $20,000 over the past 10 years. Last month alone, they gave you $5,000. You told them the same story. The mortgage, the foreclosure, the desperate need. I turned to the first page of the binder, a printout of the county foreclosure notice. Your house has been in foreclosure for 10 months, not 3, not 6, 10. You haven't paid your mortgage in over a year. That means for the past year, every dollar I sent you, thinking it was saving your house, was actually being spent on something else. I flipped through the pages, showing them printouts of Facebook posts. Cancun, Vegas, Disneyland, Hawaii. Vacations, designer clothes, private lessons, elite sports teams, luxury spas. Here's a receipt Mom found for a weekend at a spa in Napa, $2,000. Here's your credit card statement showing charges at Neiman Marcus, Nordstrom, Louis Vuitton.
Jennifer's face was red. You had no right to go through my mail. You had no right to steal from your family. I didn't steal. You gave me that money. I gave you that money for your mortgage. I gave it to you to keep a roof over your nieces' and nephews' heads, not so you could drink cocktails in Cancun. Kyle finally spoke up. Look, we made some mistakes, but you don't understand the pressure.
I turned on him. Don't. You don't get to talk about pressure. You've had 17 failed businesses in 20 years. You've never held a steady job for more than 6 months. And you let your wife lie to her family and steal from them to fund a lifestyle you couldn't afford. The room was silent except for Jennifer's crying. My mother spoke quietly. Why, Jennifer? Why did you do this? Because I was tired. Jennifer's voice was anguished. I was tired of being the failure, tired of being the one who struggled while Megan had everything. Do you know what it's like growing up in her shadow? Perfect grades, perfect job, perfect life. And what did I have? A husband who couldn't keep a job and 3 kids and a house I couldn't afford. So you stole from me to pretend you weren't struggling? I didn't steal. I just wanted to give my kids a good life. I wanted them to have experiences. I wanted to not feel like a failure for once.
By making me fund your lifestyle? By lying to our parents? By letting them give you their retirement savings? She was sobbing now. I was going to pay you back. Kyle was going to what? Have his 18th failed business venture finally succeed? My father stood up. That's enough, both of you. But I wasn't done. I pulled out the loan agreement. Here's what's going to happen. I spoke to your bank. To bring your mortgage current and stop the foreclosure, you need $22,400. That's all the missed payments plus fees. Jennifer looked up hopefully. And you'll pay it? I let the silence hang. No. What? I'm not paying it, Jennifer. You are. I don't have $22,000. If I had it, I wouldn't be in this situation. Then you better figure it out. Sell your car. Sell every designer item you bought with my money. Get a job. Get 2 jobs. Move to a cheaper house. I don't care how you do it, but you're going to figure it out. But the kids. I slammed my hand on the coffee table. Don't you dare use those kids as an excuse. You're the one who put them in this position, not me. You had 3 years and $54,000 to save that house, and you spent it on keeping up appearances. Kyle stood up. We should go. Sit down. My father's voice was steel. You're going to hear this. I took a breath, trying to calm down. However, I'm going to make you a deal. Jennifer looked up, eyes red and swollen. I will loan you the $22,400. Loan, not give, loan. You will pay me back every single penny. $500 a month. That's 3 years and 9 months of payments, and you'll sign a legal contract. I handed her the loan agreement Melissa had drafted. This contract states the terms: $500 a month, due on the 1st. If you miss a payment, the full amount becomes due immediately, and I can take you to court. No more vacations, no more designer purchases, no more luxury anything until this debt is paid in full. You'll provide me with monthly expense reports showing where your money is going, and you'll both get jobs, real jobs, not freelance, not entrepreneurial ventures, real, steady employment with paychecks. That's insane, Kyle said. That's the deal. Take it or leave it. If you leave it, your house forecloses in 6 weeks, and your kids are homeless. Your choice. Jennifer was reading through the contract, tears dropping onto the pages. You want to control our entire lives. No, I want accountability. I want proof that my money is actually being used for what it's supposed to be used for. I want to know that my nieces and nephew won't be homeless because their parents decided to take another vacation. And if we can't make a payment, then you lose the house. And I'm done. The kids can come stay with me if they need to, but you and Kyle are on your own. My mother spoke softly. Jennifer, sign it. Mom, sign it. Your sister is offering you a lifeline. Again, after you lied to her, after you stole from her. Sign the damn paper. Jennifer looked at Kyle. He shrugged helplessly. She picked up the pen I'd placed on the table. Where do I sign? I showed her. She signed. Kyle signed. I signed. My parents witnessed. I'll transfer the money to the bank tomorrow, I said. You'll get a confirmation that your mortgage is current. And your first payment to me is due September 1st. That's 5 weeks from now. I suggest you start job hunting immediately. I closed the binder and picked up my briefcase. One more thing.
They looked up at me.
We're not close anymore. We're not gonna have Sunday dinners and family barbecues and pretend everything's fine. From now on, our relationship is business. You borrow money, you pay it back. I'll see the kids when I can, but you and I looked directly at Jennifer. We're done as sisters. You killed that when you decided to lie to me for 3 years. I walked out, got in my car, drove home. And then, finally, I let myself cry. But here's the twist. The thing I didn't tell Jennifer in that meeting. The thing I kept to myself. I'd set up a separate savings account. A trust account, actually, with Melissa's help, for Sophia, Mason, and Emma. Every payment Jennifer makes on that loan, it goes into that account. All $22,400, plus the interest I'm charging her at 3%. And when those kids turn 18, they're each getting a third of it. For college, for a car, for a down payment on their first apartment, for whatever they need to start their adult lives without the financial dysfunction their parents modeled. Because Jennifer was right about one thing. I do want to be a hero. But not for her. For them.
That was 6 months ago. Jennifer and Kyle are making the payments. Barely, but they're making them. Jennifer got a job, her first real job in 15 years, at a department store. She works 40 hours a week selling cosmetics. Kyle finally got hired doing IT support for a local school district. It's not glamorous, but it's steady. They sold Jennifer's designer handbags, got about $6,000 for them, which they used to pay down some of the credit card debt. They sold Kyle's truck and bought a used sedan. They pulled the kids out of the expensive extracurriculars, though Sophia's violin teacher agreed to keep teaching her at a reduced rate because she's talented. The kids are adjusting. It's hard for them. Mason was angry at first, confused why he couldn't play travel soccer anymore. Emma cried when she had to leave gymnastics. But Sophia, smart, perceptive Sophia, seems to understand more than the others. We're not close anymore, Jennifer and I. I see the kids when I can, usually taking them out for ice cream or to the movies. But Jennifer and I barely speak. When we do, it's cordial, polite, like business associates, not sisters. The family dinners are awkward now. Jennifer and I sit at opposite ends of the table. She doesn't make comments about my money anymore. She doesn't make eye contact with me at all. My parents are heartbroken. They wanted their daughters to be close. They wanted family unity. But my mother told me last week that she understands, that she's proud of me for setting boundaries. You did the right thing, she said, even though it was hard. My father said something interesting too. You know what the real tragedy is? If Jennifer had just been honest from the start, if she'd said, I'm struggling and I need help, we all would have helped. But she couldn't admit she needed help. She had to pretend she had it all together while stealing from the people who loved her. He was right. I've been seeing a therapist regularly since all this happened. Her name is Dr. Chen, and she's helped me work through a lot of complicated feelings. In our session last week, she asked me something that's been stuck in my mind ever since. Do you think Jennifer ever really saw you as a sister, or did she always see you as a resource? I've been thinking about that a lot, about all those years growing up, how I was never the favorite, never the one who got the attention or the praise or the help, how I had to make my own way while Jennifer got everything handed to her. And I think the answer is complicated. I think Jennifer loved me, in her way, but I also think she resented me, resented my success because it made her feel like a failure. And eventually, that resentment turned into entitlement. She felt entitled to my money because she felt entitled to the success I'd worked for, because in her mind, it wasn't fair that I had it and she didn't. But here's what I've learned through all of this. Fairness doesn't mean everyone gets the same outcome. Fairness means everyone gets the same opportunity. Jennifer had the same opportunities I did. She just made different choices. And those choices have consequences. Last week, something happened that gave me hope. I went to visit the kids, took them to the movies and out for ice cream. We saw some animated movie about talking animals, and Emma laughed so hard she snorted ice cream out of her nose. Afterwards, Sophia asked if she could talk to me alone. We sat on a bench outside the theater while Mason and Emma played on the little playground nearby. Aunt Megan, can I ask you something? Of course, sweetie. Why did you help us after what Mom did? I looked at this beautiful, bright 15-year-old girl, and I thought about all the things I could say. About family obligation, about being a good person, about doing the right thing. But I told her the truth. Because none of what happened was your fault, or Mason's, or Emma's. And you three deserve to have a stable home and people who look out for you, even when the adults in your life make mistakes. She was quiet for a moment, watching her siblings play. Is that why you don't come over anymore? Because Mom made mistakes? Partly, but also because I had to protect myself. Sometimes, Sophia, loving someone means creating boundaries. It means saying, I care about you, but I can't let you hurt me anymore. Even with family, especially with family. I get that. She paused. Mason heard Mom and Dad talking last night about money, about how they have to pay you back. He thinks it's his fault. He thinks if he hadn't wanted to play travel soccer, maybe this wouldn't have happened. My heart broke. Sophia, this is not Mason's fault, or yours or Emma's. This is about choices your parents made, choices that had nothing to do with you kids. That's what I told him, but he's still upset. Would it help if I talked to him? Maybe. He really looks up to you, you know? He told me once that you're the only adult who treats him like he's smart. I called Mason over. He came reluctantly, hands in his pockets, not quite meeting my eyes. Hey, buddy. Sophia said you're worried about the money stuff with your parents. He shrugged. It's fine. Mason, look at me.
He did, and I saw tears in his eyes. This is not your fault. None of it. Not the money, not the house, none of it. Your mom and dad made some mistakes, and now they're fixing those mistakes. But you didn't do anything wrong. But if I hadn't wanted to do soccer, then it would have been something else. This isn't about soccer or violin or gymnastics. This is about grown-up stuff that you don't need to worry about. Okay? Okay. And Mason, I'm always going to be here for you. For all three of you. No matter what happens between me and your mom, I'm not going anywhere. He hugged me then. This 11-year-old boy who was trying so hard to be strong. And he cried into my shoulder. That's when I knew I'd made the right choice. Not the easy choice, not the comfortable choice, but the right one. Because this isn't just about money. It's about showing these kids that actions have consequences, that lying has consequences, but also that people who love you will still show up, even when it's hard, even when you're angry, even when the relationship is broken. I'm showing them what healthy boundaries look like, what accountability looks like, what tough love looks like. And I'm creating that trust fund so that when they're 18, they'll have options, they'll have resources, they'll be able to make choices that their parents never gave them.
So here I am, 6 months later, 48 years old, still in my house in Oakland, still working my job, still sending that monthly report to Melissa about Jennifer's loan payments. My life looks the same from the outside, but everything's different inside. I'm different. I learned that being rich isn't about how much money you have, it's about how you use it. And being family isn't about blood, it's about respect and trust and showing up for each other. Jennifer used to sneer at me and say, Must be nice to be rich. And you know what? It is nice. It's nice to have worked hard for what I have. It's nice to be able to help when I choose to. It's nice to have boundaries and self-respect. And it's nice to look at myself in the mirror every morning and know that I didn't let someone else's resentment and entitlement destroy the person I worked so hard to become. That's the real wealth. Not the money in my bank account, not the house I own or the job I have. The real wealth is the strength to protect myself while still doing what's right. The wisdom to know the difference between helping and enabling. The courage to set boundaries, even when it means losing a relationship I valued.
People ask me if I regret helping her, if I regret those 3 years of mortgage payments. And honestly, I don't know. I regret how it played out. I regret that she used me. I regret that I let it go on so long. But I don't regret protecting those kids. I don't regret setting boundaries. And I don't regret learning this lesson, even though it cost me $76,000 and a relationship with my sister. Because here's the thing about expensive lessons. They're only wasted if you don't learn from them. And I learned. Oh, I learned. I learned that you can't help someone who doesn't want to be helped. You can only enable them. I learned that sometimes the most loving thing you can do is say no. I learned that family isn't an excuse for abuse. Financial abuse, emotional abuse, any kind of abuse. I learned that I'm stronger than I thought I was. And I learned that sometimes the person you need to rescue isn't the person who's drowning. It's yourself. Last week, I got my first payment from Jennifer, $500, transferred on September 1st, right on time. I looked at that notification on my phone and I felt nothing. No satisfaction, no anger, just nothing. And that's when I knew I'd really let go. I forwarded the payment to the trust account, added a note to my spreadsheet, and went about my day. That evening, I got a text from Sophia. Just a simple message. Mom said she made the payment. Thank you for giving them another chance. I didn't respond right away. I sat with that message for a while, thinking about what another chance meant. This wasn't another chance for Jennifer. This was consequences, accountability, a lesson in responsibility. But maybe for those kids, it was another chance. A chance to see their parents actually follow through on something. A chance to learn that mistakes can be fixed. A chance to grow up in their home instead of in temporary housing or a shelter. I texted back, "Your parents are giving themselves another chance. I'm just making sure you kids are okay while they do it." 3 dots appeared, then disappeared, then appeared again. Finally, "I know what you did, the trust fund. Mom doesn't know I overheard her and Dad talking about it with Grandma. Thank you." My hands froze on my phone. I'd specifically asked my parents not to tell Jennifer about the trust fund, but of course they'd talked about it, and of course Sophia had heard. "How long have you known?" "A few weeks. I haven't told Mason or Emma. They wouldn't understand yet." "What do you understand?" "That you're still protecting us, even though Mom hurt you, even though you don't have to." I felt tears prick my eyes. "You're a smart kid, Sophia. I get it from my aunt." That made me laugh through my tears. Your mom's pretty smart too. She just made some bad choices. I know. Dad said that sometimes smart people do dumb things, but that doesn't mean they can't do better. Your dad's right. Are you and Mom ever going to be okay again? That was the question, wasn't it? The one I've been avoiding thinking about. I don't know, sweetheart. Maybe someday. But right now, we need space from each other. That's okay. You can still be my aunt without being Mom's sister. Out of the mouths of babes. You're absolutely right. And I'll always be your aunt, no matter what. Good. Love you, Aunt Maggie. Love you too, kiddo. I'm Megan Torres, and this is my story of betrayal, boundaries, and choosing to be rich in the ways that actually matter. The story of how I lost a sister, but gained myself. The story of how $54,000 taught me what I'm worth. Thanks for listening. And if you're in a situation like I was, helping family financially, here's my advice.
Get it in writing. Always. Even if it feels awkward. Especially if it feels awkward. Because assumptions and good intentions aren't enough when money's involved. Set clear expectations. What is the money for? When will it be paid back? What happens if payments are missed? You know that feeling when you're sitting in your own home? The one you worked 20 years to afford? And suddenly it doesn't feel safe anymore? That's where I am right now. 47 years old, successful by most measures, and I can't stop my hands from shaking as I hold this stack of papers. My name is Megan Torres, and for the past 3 years, I've been paying my younger sister's mortgage. $1,500 a month. 36 months. That's $54,000. But that's not even the worst part. The worst part is what I found out she was really doing with that money, and who else was involved. Let me take you back. Not to last week when everything exploded, but to where this really started. Because the truth is, this story began 30 years ago, in a small house in Sacramento, when my parents brought home my baby sister, Jennifer. I was 17. Jennifer was perfect. At least that's what everyone said. Perfect little nose, perfect little fingers. And from that moment on, I became invisible. I don't say that for pity. It's just fact. I was the serious one, the responsible one, the one who got straight A's, because no one noticed when I got A-minuses. Jennifer was the one who got ice cream for bringing home a C, because she tried so hard.